Today on Record Breakers, an Indian artist nails a world record.
Thai tennis star Paradorn Srishapan sets a world first.
Madness or obsession? We'll meet a man who juggles with his feet.
And Brazilians set a new world record during a river surfing championship.
Because on Record Breakers, we know there's dream chasers.
We know there's serious risk takers.
And we know there's always record breakers.
If people are attempting it, record breakers are filming it. Get ready as we explore the outer limits of human achievement on Record Breakers.
A man who is on his way to becoming the first person to run around the world has arrived in New York to validate his world record attempt. The former policeman, who calls himself the Running Man, spoke during a poorly attended press conference in New York City about the validity of his attempted record. We'll check on his progress throughout the program.
A fine arts student in India's eastern Patna city, disabled from his right arm, sketches with a fingernail on his left hand, proving that where there's a will, there is a way. Kunal Mitra, a student of the College of Arts and Crafts, has earned recognition and a world record placing for his ability to paint creative sketches with a lone fingernail. Kunal wants to take his forthcoming examinations to showcase his extraordinary talent, having never used a paintbrush, pencil or pen to create his paintings. In an effort to keep his nail long and strong, Kunal makes sure he drinks 3 glasses of milk a day to ensure that he can continue to create his works of art.
Now we head over to Brazil, where a 20-year-old man from the northeastern state of Ceará set a new world record during the country's river surfing championship. Using global positioning system technology to establish the precise measurement for Guinness certification purposes, Adilton Mariano surfed his way into the record books. He surfed for 34 minutes and 8 seconds on a single wave that was 5 meters high and lasted for some 40 minutes with a speed close to 20 kilometers per hour. The previous record, also set by Mariano, was 26 minutes and 19 seconds. The Amazon's giant wave, known as a bore, is a unique phenomenon that attracts surfers throughout the world. It differs from ocean waves in that it has 2 currents pushing against each other. As a result, the wave exhibits great strength and duration and repeats itself every 12 hours. Lots of tired and sore body muscles later, and he landed himself in the Guinness Book of World Records and departed to dry land.
The youngest world champion driver in Formula One history, Fernando Alonso, celebrated his and French team Renault's Constructors' title in December 2005. In September 2005, he won the World Drivers' Championship title at the age of 24 years and 59 days, breaking Emerson Fittipaldi's record of being the youngest F1 champion and ending Michael Schumacher's run of 5 consecutive championships. He was also awarded the 2005 Prince of Asturias Award of Sports, the youngest to receive the prize. The award is given in Spain to individuals from around the world who make notable achievements in the sciences, humanities or sports. Let's hope in the years to come Fernando Alonso will continue to break records and inspire generations of fans.
Now to another incredible achievement in sport. A former world champion blind golfer realised the dream of every amateur hacker when he shot a hole-in-one. Zohar Sharon, the world's first professional blind golfer who won the 2003 Blind Golf Championship, aced the 160-metre 15th hole at the Caesarea Golf Club in Israel with only the guidance of his caddy and a finely tuned ear. Sharon, with a handicap of 20, initially thought he had overhit his tee shot, but was understandably delighted when his caddy, Shimshon Levy, found the ball nestled in the cup. In September 2003, Sharon, the only professional blind golfer in Israel, beat the other contenders in the World Blind Golf Championship held in Scotland. The 53-year-old survives on an army pension, which meant that instead of treating everyone in the clubhouse to the traditional round of drinks after a hole-in-one, Sharon could only afford to buy everyone a can of soft drink from the pro shop.
Continuing on with our sporting theme, expert skydivers from more than 20 countries participated in the record-breaking freefall, a feat which took a year and a half to plan. Jumping from several planes from a height of 6,200 metres, the skydivers had about 90 seconds to make the formation before pulling their parachutes and descending to Earth. The previous world record was a 282-person formation set in Thailand in November 1999. To beat that mark, the 300 skydivers had to grab onto each other in formation and hold the position for at least 3 seconds as they fell. Prior to the success, more than 100 previous attempts to form a 300-person formation had failed. Exchanging high fives, hugs and cheers of delight, the group of skydivers celebrated their record as one by one they parachuted back to Earth.
China has one of the world's hairiest men, with 26-year-old Yu Zhenhuan having 96% of his body covered with hair.
Back to check on the running man's success now as he tries to prove his world record attempt for running around the world. Robert Garside bought signed travel logs and home videos of his recorded journey to verify to Guinness adjudicators his attempt. We'll check on him later in the show.
Millimetre by millimetre, covered in cheese, olives, ham and pineapple, the longest pizza in the world rolled its way towards an entry into the Guinness Book of Records. Measuring sticks at the ready, anxious organisers stood by as what they hoped would be the world's longest pizza slowly passed through a conveyor belt oven, all 100 metres of it. This monument to Israeli culinary prowess will make it into the hallowed Book of Records, nestling up against its neighbour, the world's largest round pizza, which measured 37.4 metres in diameter in South Africa. So what does it take to make a record-breaking pizza? 30 hours of work, 25 cooks, 150 kilos of dough, 50 litres of tomato sauce, 60 kilos of green olives and 80 kilos of mozzarella cheese. There was no word as to whether corresponding amounts of indigestion tablets were on hand.
Ghanaian skier Kwame Nkrumah Achiampong doesn't like speeding down indoor ski slopes for no good reason. He does it to chase his Olympic dreams. If he succeeds, it's believed that he will become the first ever Ghanaian to reach the Winter Games and the first black downhill skier in any Olympics. Kwame often trains at the Artificial Snow Centre in Milton Keynes, north of London, hoping to compete in the Turin Winter Olympics just 14 months after the 30-year-old first set foot on real snow. Born in Scotland, Kwame's family moved to Ghana when he was a baby. Snow was almost impossible to imagine. Kwame's enthusiasm has proved infectious, and he would like more Ghanaians and other Africans to join him on the path to the Winter Olympics. He already has a fan following, and who knows, maybe one man's giant leap into sporting history will inspire young Ghanaians into emulating his achievements.
Thai tennis star Paradorn Srishapan is not on the courts these days, but at a Buddhist temple, having traded in his racket for an alms bowl. He's believed to be the first tennis player ever to become a monk. Hundreds of well-wishers, including relatives, friends and fans, gathered at the Tung Sethi Temple in Bangkok as Srishapan took part in a lavish traditional ordination ceremony to become a Buddhist monk. Well-wishers danced to Thai music in the ordination procession as Asia's top tennis player entered the temple hall to take his monastic vows. Srishapan will be back on the court after 7 days of meditating and praying and abstaining from alcohol and physical contact with women. And don't expect him to go easy on his tennis rivals. The star will be coming back with more vim and vigour than ever.
A group of Argentines spanning ages from 3 to 99 recently claimed they broke the world record for the longest painting when they decorated a 2,300-metre sheet with messages and pictures dedicated to peace. The painting covered 9 blocks and broke the record of 2,011 metres, which was set in Toronto, Canada. The project was spearheaded by the Mutual Association of Environmental Resources, which provided the painting materials to the participants. More than 2,500 people contributed to the painting, including public and private school children, university students, the elderly and even professional artists from Argentina, Japan, Russia and France. Each artist was assigned a 1 by 0.8 metre space for him or her to paint, draw or write something related to world peace. The painting will then be cut up into several pieces and sent to presidents of countries throughout the world.
In most restaurants, it's not the done thing to eat with your fingers, spill your red wine in your lap or drop your cutlery on the floor. However, there is one restaurant in Paris where this behaviour is the norm. Then again, Dans Le Noir isn't your average restaurant. In a world-first dining experience, the dining area is pitch black, as the name In the Dark suggests. The restaurant is completely and utterly dark, and it's not a darkness that your eyes grow accustomed to after a while. Absolutely no light is allowed in the dining room, and cigarettes, cigarette lighters, mobile phones and watches with fluorescent displays are banned. Guests can either choose their food from a menu before entering the restaurant, or they can opt for a surprise menu. That can become a guessing game for many. Some of the diners looked a little anxious after eating in the darkness, and when asked if they had advice for future patrons, they said to make sure you leave the white clothes at home.
A merino sheep that managed to avoid the shearer's blade for 6 years has finally been rounded up, weighing a record 27 kilograms.
Back to check on the running man's progress. After New York, he plans to travel to South Africa and run through the Congo, having already run through Europe and Australia. The Guinness Book of World Records will accept his world record after he completes his journey in New Delhi.
Now for some Hollywood record breakers you may not be aware of. The record for the greatest first-week sales of an album in the US is held by NSYNC. The group J.C. Chasez, Justin Timberlake, Chris Kirkpatrick, Joey Fatone and Lance Bass sold 2.41 million copies of their album, No Strings Attached, when it was released on March 21, 2000.
Gone with the Wind holds the record for the highest box office gross with inflation adjusted. Although the 1939 film took just $393.4 million at the international box office, in an inflation-adjusted list it comes top with a total gross of over $3 billion.
One of the most recognisable symbols in the world, Mickey Mouse, holds the record for receiving the most fan mail of any other star. And on November 18, 1978, in honour of his 50th anniversary, he became the first cartoon character to have a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
The record for the most films by a dancing partnership belongs to Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers, who appeared together in 10 films, starting with 1933's Flying Down to Rio and ending with the Barclays of Broadway in 1949. The most famous dancing duo ever paired, not one of their 10 films ever received an Oscar nomination.
Jerry Seinfeld earned an estimated $267 million in 1998, the highest annual earnings ever by a television or film actor. His show Seinfeld hit TV screens in 1990.
Well, she asked you.
I can't wear this puffy shirt on TV. I mean, look at it. It looks ridiculous.
Well, you gotta wear it now. All those stores are stocking it based on the condition that you're
Within 3 years, it became a huge hit around the world, and by 1997, Seinfeld was the highest paid actor, with $1 million per episode. The show ended its run in May 1998, with the largest viewing audience for a comedy, 108 million viewers.
It could be kind of a whole new look for you. You know, you could put a patch over an eye. You could kind of like be the pirate comedian.
Yeah.
Robbie Williams has smashed a Guinness Book World Record by selling more than 1.6 million tickets for his 2006 World Tour in just one day, earning an estimated $144 million. The British pop icon is confirmed to have snatched the record from Justin Timberlake and his former group NSYNC, who shifted 1 million tickets over a 24-hour period in 2000.
The record for the greatest age span portrayed by a movie actor is held by American actor Dustin Hoffman, who was 33 years old when he played the leading role of Jack Crabbe in 1970's Little Big Man, in which he aged from 17 to 121 years.
Feels like a thumbs up.
Hoffman heralded the arrival of a new era of Hollywood stardom before collecting a Best Actor Oscar in 1988 for the critically acclaimed Rain Man opposite Tom Cruise.
You got a big hand. Let me see your hands. I'm not gonna bite you. Look at that hand, man. You should have been a pianist or a guitarist. Look at the size of that.
He made it. Visibly thinner, filthy and unshaven, David Blaine broke down as he exited his glass box by Tower Bridge, which had been his home for 44 days in a world record attempt. Large crowds turned up to count down the last few remaining hours and give their cheers to the man who endured British curiosity, indifference and admiration. The feat of endurance has attracted huge crowds over the last 6 weeks, and an estimated 10,000 people were there to see him come out. It's been a mixed and controversial attempt, but Blaine, always the showman, entertained them to the end, throwing pillows and other belongings from his box to the crowds. A crane that held the Perspex box above the river lowered it to the waiting fans and tipped up gently to help him out. During the stunt, an estimated 250,000 people visited the site to see the 30-year-old New Yorker who says he consumed only water via a tube. Despite apparently going without any food for so long, 30-year-old David was able to walk from the box supported by helpers. He was given a checkup by medical teams before being taken to hospital, where he will be reintroduced to food.
Madness or obsession? It's true that few have dedicated a life to juggling, but juggling with your feet while walking is even more obscure. A Tirana man has covered hundreds of kilometres in a lifetime dedicated to a pastime which at one point saw him make his own indelible entry into history and the Guinness Book of Records. Who better to coach the local junior football side in the art of controlling the ball than a man who has proven he is among the best in the world at juggling with his feet? Even at 50, Spartak Hamiti just can't help himself. His lifetime obsession of juggling with his feet may seem strange to the rest of us, but not to Hamiti. It's a skill that has seen his quietly confident Albanian leave his mark on the world's record books, a mark which can never be erased, a mark for which he is eternally grateful. It's no mean feat to keep a ball in the air for so long, but the people of Tirana have come to accept his talent, and Hamiti can walk and juggle for hours around town, on the motorway, almost anywhere without a second glance.
The Galapagos giant tortoise is one of the oldest animals in the Geyser Zoo, having recently celebrated its 361st birthday. The 200-kilogram animal has just entered the Guinness Book of World Records. This tortoise was a gift from Egypt's former ruler, Ismail Pasha, to the zoo. At that time, the tortoise was 250 years old. The giant tortoise is known to live in the Galapagos Islands, which are 500 kilometres from South America, and on Cecil Island in the Indian Ocean. This type of tortoise feeds on vegetables and fruits, proving that the key to life lies in eating well and sleeping.
The running man has had his world record validated by the Guinness Book of World Records, having completed his global jaunt in New Delhi. That's all we've got time for. See you next time on Record Breakers.